Ladies and gentlemen, we have a massive update for the game incoming, a complete facelift on the Cantina itself, along with a lot of era changes. So this is the bigger post with the era information, just kind of like an introduction to the Cantina. I'm going to cover the Cantina first. This larger post, mostly good, a few question marks, a few things that I don't necessarily like, but this Cantina update, which is what I'm going to cover first, almost all positive, like almost literally all positive, just like a greater than less than equation where you're getting more than you had before and things are easier. So after 10 years behind it, Swooga is ready for a new look and more modern feel, and they have created what they call Cantina 2.0. So let's take a look. This is visually, I think, a lot better. I think the color scheme is really nice. It has more depth to it. We still have like the era stuff, Coliseum. We have the arena table over here, campaigns over here. Things are just kind of lined up a little bit better, and there's functional changes to them too, not just visual. So we have updated models and textures for the tables like we just saw. Cantina patrons more varied. Important information is now surfaced in the Cantina itself for easier access, which I think is great. I think that's going to be things like showing your arena rank or something like that, where you're at in Conquest. Just little bits of information you're going to get. Navigation requests fewer clicks, less obstruction of tables. That's actually a good little thing to change, because there's a lot of times, especially when I'm playing on a phone, where I scroll over, I'm trying to click one thing, but I end up clicking another because there's a little bit of overlap. So just a nice little update. Separate rooms dedicated to guilds and ships have been removed, which is interesting. Phase more talkative. So these are the new character models for all the little characters we have running around. So our main tutorial, Twi'lek, the droid, this guy at the events table, the Jawas, they all look a lot improved, more polygons and that type of stuff. And yeah, let's just maximize that. So Cantina table updates. I kind of pointed a lot of these out. The table now provides top-level info about your squad/fleet arena ranks in your GAC round. And as we're going to see in the other update, squad arena is going away in favor of a training mode, which is very interesting and something that's been requested for a very long time. I'll just say that. Raids, new table, direct access, top-level information, guild events, campaigns, which has fleet and mod in it too, which is nice. And they're simplifying the mod campaigns. Events shows an active events card. I don't know if that includes ship events, because that is like that would be really helpful. I think it would have to include fleet challenges, because they're getting rid of the separate table for ships, and I do agree with getting rid of the separate table for ships. So it's just a lot of extra moving around and clicking. Galactic battles, top level information about Conquest Galactic War, visual update for Scavenger, shipments and store remain the same. Scavenger update. This is actually this is not like a huge resource change in a lot of ways, but I think it makes a lot of sense. They're changing the campaigns to follow a more linear path along the movies, from Phantom Menace all the way to the end of the sequels, and that makes a lot of sense, because right now we have all these feats and challenges where we're supposed to go beat a certain number of these characters and that characters, and it's almost random finding them. If someone didn't tell you, you just gotta click around. We have 7 new battles to each of the light side and dark side, so that's more room for characters to be added to be farmable on those hard nodes. There's fewer encounters, so the terminology is kind of confusing. It says supposed to have just one encounter, though each tier has 1 to 2 battles. So 1 to 2 the battles are what you might think of as a wave. So that would be going effectively from 3 battles to 2, or like 3 waves to 2. Cantina battles have a new 9th tier with 7 additional battles, and this is where there's a nice little first-time bonus. So the first-time reward of going through each one is going to be Zeta and Omicrons. Now it shows visually this last one here has 10 Zetas and 10 Omicrons on the final tier. I hope that's the same for all of them, because with the 7, there'd be 70 Zetas and 70 Omicrons for everybody for this first time run, which is awesome. And as you can see there, Hoda is farmable, Greaves is farmable, Wampa is farmable. Fantastic. That is great news. That is just all around positive. And we do have the signal data. Oh, there's 2. This one is 2 different nodes. It's interesting. I think they're all 20 energy. but there's an increase in the drop rate. So hopefully functionally the same. Tier 8 nodes have previously dropped Omicrons, now drop Zeta materials. And the rate of Omicrons being dropped in Tier 9 went up a little bit. 0.75% drop rate from 0.5. Which is something, you know, it's occasionally you get it. Mod battles. This is where they're simplifying it. So currently the mod battles are just like a bunch of wasted space and then one level that matters. So yeah, right here, as it is now, when you go on mod battles, there's this tier 1 through 8, where you get like you have to slog through it when you start. You get 1 to 4 dot mods on it, or no, 1 and 2 dot mods only the whole way through. After you clear these, you never go back to them again. There's no point ever going back to them. You only care about this level of mod battles. And then also we have the mod challenges where you farm your mods directly. That's all going to change. It's going to be rolled up into one with mod battles. Tier 1 is like mod challenges, but requires 10 mod energy per battle compared to 16 for mod challenges. And there's only 5 dot mods. So the tier 1 and 2 are irrelevant. They're gone. It's basically a challenge tier 3, but cheaper, which is great. So it'll be easier to farm mods, which is a huge problem for a lot of players. It's like, you know, 5/8 of the cost, which it's like 37.5% decrease in cost of farming that. That's great. Tier 2 is identical. Unlocks at level 60, which is nice. Mod challenges are available for now until the campaign changes go live. I'm not exactly sure when that is. But yeah, this is the story alignment. Light side, dark side goes from Phantom Menace all the way to Rise of Skywalker, like I was saying. Tier 8 to 9. Is there... Where's the difference? The Clone Wars is tier 3. Okay, yeah, so that's not all a movie. That's interesting. It's like dark side, difficulty, hard difficulty. Yeah, Clone Wars, Bad Batch. So it's all these shows. That's cool too. Cantina goes for a lot of games and shows. Jedi Fallen Order, Solo, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Dr. Aphra, The Mandalorian, Book of Boba Fett, Legends. That's really cool. That actually makes it a little bit more of an interesting process as you go through it. As it is now, it's just like you get through it just to get the resources. But it's nice to have a little bit of a story, even though it's not the main focus of players playing this game. Farming and economy changes. So this is a lot of new shifts around, and most of it's for the better. So this is farming node changes. Eighth Brother's moved, replacing BT1. Vulture Droid is moved, joining CX2, so you can farm Vulture Droid and CX2 at the same time, which matters for me on the GoTanks account. I am farming that. TIE Defender is moved to join Iron Versio. So it's not in fleets anymore. You farm the character and a ship at the same time. Always great, and that's what a lot of these are. IG-88 is joining its ship. Droideka is moved to a new node from Lightside Heart 8B. Django's moving away, and you know, I love the Django Fett with Houndstooth, but it's better because Bosk is joining Houndstooth. Cad Bane is joining his ship. Rolo is farmable now, which is huge for farming Jedi Knight Luke. That makes it a lot easier. I assume you can still get her in the same traditional ways with Guild Event 2 tokens and the raid tokens, but that's just one more way to farm her. Makes her really easy to get. BT1 is moved to the same node as 000, makes farming Aphra a lot easier, which it kind of needs it because she's not extremely compelling to farm. Probe Droid's farmable. Darth Vader Duel's End, you know, the latest character of the new Anniversary Era units to be farmable. Kylo Ren's Command Shell joins Kylo Ren in Cantina. Wampa's farmable. Yoda, Grievous, like we already showed. This is a big one that I felt like was an unintentional, like Biston Dewing used to be farmable directly, and I feel like it was unintentional or just like a mistake where they like removed it and you can only buy it with currencies, but that's really nice. That makes it a lot easier to get Profundity. It replaces TIE Defender, joins Temple Guard. TIE Advance is replacing the Mando. He was like, this didn't make sense anyway. Having the Mandalorian on like an end stage fleet node, like usually you could have him done by the time you get to that. Other economy changes. This is huge. Omega Battles for the longest time have been the least valuable event, so outdated. It actually was valuable in like the early nascent days of Galaxy of Heroes when Omegas were really rare. Getting one Omega Bat was just nice. Now it's something it's not worth even clicking on for my main account. For the small account, just the Omegas matter. They're changing it. Tier 1 is 20 of the Mark III purple mats. Most players, if you've been playing a significant amount of time, don't really need those. But Tier 2, now we're getting 10 Omega mats, which is definitely impactful. I have less than 100 Omega mats on my 2-year-old account. That is still a real bottleneck. 3 Zetas each time. That's amazing. So whenever these Omega battles come around, I don't know how often they're going to come around. Refresh costs remain the same. I don't know that refresh cost. Maybe it is worth refreshing for Zetas. That'll effectively put a bit of a price on Zetas. We'll have to determine if that's valuable. But this is huge because Zetas are a huge bottleneck for everyone, especially with all these tokens coming out. Creds and ship materials are no longer required for star upgrades, which is great. The Mark 1 and 2 character ability mats, so that's like the green and blue mats, have their quantities increased in the store. This is huge. Micro attenuator cap increased from 300 to 1,000, which is very needed with a Hondo event because you just do that event once and you're basically at the cap. You need to interrupt your simming of that event and spend some attenuators, and it was unnecessarily low. It's like a 3+ year old unit and cap. This is great. Updates to drop rates will go live with the campaign content. Training droids, ship enhancement droids, upgrade materials are dropping at higher rates, increased quantities, and like galactic war rewards. So just all kinds of good stuff. The journey guide got rearranged. This is functionally, this makes sense. Let me go in game to show that. So this is something that has been visible for a few days, and it was something that made everyone think something's up and something has been up. So like these 6 characters and ships have always been at the top, but they demoted gas to tier 4. I think the difficulty is partly the power level of the unit, partly the requirements to unlock. So gas, you don't need any relics or anything. You need a lot of characters though. All these require either high relics or a lot of characters or relics, which I get Luke. It's interesting that Maul's kind of part of just an overall bigger team with a conquest unit and a legendary, so maybe that makes sense for him to be here. Cassian, although they all require a lot of relic units. Jedi Master Mace being in tier 3, like, is a little, I don't know, it's hard to make sense. I don't know if it's just power level or accessibility. Tier 2, this all makes sense, you know, CLS to Chimera. The Revens are both here. Makes sense to have all them there. And then these 6 being in a group. It functionally makes a lot of sense. So these are really easy. This is like generic, like faction tags you need. These are more specific units, maybe. Ewoks, bounty hunters, but these are harder. So yeah, no, it functionally makes sense. Malik really got demoted. That's funny. You only need like your 12 characters for him though, so I don't know. Yeah, new layout. Then back to the Cantina update post. Early game experience, just getting streamlined. Updates to, tutorials and stuff like that. Quality of life changes. This is big. I've actually emphasized this in one of my more recent videos about quality of life updates that Galaxy of Heroes could learn from Raid Shadow Legends, because in that game it's so easy to just sell a mod. Like before you even accept it, you can just sell it before it hits your inventory, which is great. You can see this here. This is something I recommend anyone just like look through the inventory, sell them right here if you have time, just evaluate whether you want to keep it or not. We still have great mod filters where you can evaluate like that, but selling it just right away is great. The button to collapse and expand status effects now displays and appears in combat by default. The option to show the button has been removed from the settings menu. Okay, that's interesting. That's like the hide or show buffs and debuffs. Guild reward crates and raids now more descriptive names. Fleet battle 5e normal has been reduced the difficulty of 5e, which makes sense. I think, is that the Nest one? 5, or no, not Nest. Oh yeah, these TIE fighters. This one was a pain, so that is a welcome change. That is not a small thing for new players. So that is it for the Cantina update. I think all of it's just positive and just shifting things around. This is a huge positive. You know, farming this stuff. The new Cantina changes I really like. I've always kind of wanted to have a separate energy for signal data. This is, you know, close. It's an approximation of that. It's improving your experience with Cantina energy. Now, Cantina update aside, there's a lot of changes for eras. Some of it looks promising. A lot of it does, actually. Some of it, I'm not sure. It's kind of some question marks. So they're saying, based on our feedback, they're making adjustments to rewards and milestone cadence. Added 40 freely accessible era levels for all players, giving you more room to grow. Characters that reach the highest era level of 135 will convert to Relic 8. 4 additional Coliseum tiers will accompany these new era levels. All players will still be able to reach Gear 12 for free with a mode engagement. We're increasing the rewards across the era to help players grow their relic levels faster. At a high level, we're aiming to increase era currency inflow by at least 200% for all players. Countering this increase, we're reducing the price of Tier 4 Lightspeed tokens from 5,000 currency to 3,500. That last part, big benefit. That is, you know, what is it, 30% decrease in price? You're going to get a lot more Relic 5 characters. That's awesome. That makes it even more clear choice to pick that Relic 5 token instead of the Gear 12 token. I don't know. We'll see how this turns out. They're saying they want to increase era currency inflow by 200% for all players. Double it. We'll see. I mean, if they do that, that's great. I already feel like I get a lot when you go for like early bump ups to your Coliseum team. I don't know how this super high era level is gonna go. I really have to see it go well to believe it. I don't know if it's just gonna be. I mean, do you start at level 40? I don't know. It's hard to understand how it's gonna actually play out. This is kind of a wait and see thing. Full spend difference between old inflow and new inflow plus 204%. Episode pass purchasers approximately 419% more. Free to play high engagement, which I would describe myself as clearly. I mean, I do my best in Coliseum. I've gotten top 30 most days on both accounts. I even got a top 10 recently. Up 344%. I mean, sure, I'll take it. I mean, do I want my whole GoTanks account roster to be Relic 5 with crappy mods? I guess. For this era, we're introducing some new and updated store offers. New offer containing both character charts and era level materials to provide another avenue for kickstarting process. Era level material bundles have been updated. Era level material bundle. I think this is all like for money. So whenever it's talking about bundles, I think that's money purchases, which I don't have much experience with or any experience with. I don't have much knowledge of. I don't know. Maybe that helps. Next up, loaned units, and I'm not entirely sure how this will play out. It could be good. It could be another resource drain. Hopefully not. But I don't know. So with the upcoming title update, they're introducing loaned units. They will replace summoned units in Coliseum. Loan units are available to all players during their era. Can only be used in era modes. They go away at the end of the era. All your loan units have the same era level. They can't be upgraded directly. Instead, they're upgraded when you receive a loaned unit era level increase token, which automatically consume to level all your loan units by 1. So are we going to get like dozens and dozens of these? I mean, leveling it up by 1. With the era of Andor, I've kind of like PAL sucks and Saw sucked, but at least they match the level of your highest unit. I don't want to have to use crystals to buy loaned unit increase tokens. I don't know. We'll see. Looking to improve the clarity and the user flow for obtaining the unit era increase tokens. I hope it's not bad. I have a bad feeling about it. We'll see. To use loaned units, you can select them from the roster. During pre-battle unit selection, you must be at least 1 era unit. Can't just do only loaned units. So there will be theory crafting. This definitely seems like it will open up a lot of different room for strategy, because as it is now, you have your 1 era unit like you had Clay at the beginning. That's it. You got all your granted units. The only strategy is increase Clay's level, use your basic strategically, and that was it. But these are all the units we are going to have available. All at once? I don't know. I guess it's all at once. This is over a dozen units. This is like 16 units. And the era is going to be like New Republic era. So this is after Return of the Jedi, kind of around the time the Mandalorian, Ahsoka show. We have the General Syndulla, Drogon, Chopper, a lot of Phoenix stuff. Some Imperial troopers, Empire units, Beskar armor, Mando. I would say Drogon, possibly General Syndulla, and Mando stand out to me as more useful. I don't know about all these others. It really depends. Mon Mothma could be really good. The New Republic era units, and I'm not going to read all their kits. There's just too much. Captain Carson Teva, R5D4, and Snowtrooper Commander Zeb. So like the Mando Zeb. 3 new characters that are going to come later. So I'm guessing that's the last 2 marquees and then the Journey Guide unit. So yeah, loaned units. I can't really say. I'm a little bit nervous about it. It could be fun. Like, it'll definitely add more of a element to it that it's actually gameplay and not just like play with toddler toys. That's been compared to. But we'll see. I don't want extra resource strain. Overcharge. This is what I think is. I feel negative about. I don't like the sound of this with Era Arena. So they're bringing in Era PvP. We're excited to announce new individual PvP mode for Era units. Era Arena. This is a place to test ideas, try fresh experimental setups. All begins with faction tag sharing, so that's positive. Era units will share select faction tags with others, so you can use whatever. There won't be a score cap. Just push your squads as far as you can while you experiment. Work together with lone units and Overcharge. So this is like the mods for Era stuff. Mods have been the way to distinguish a character from someone else's, while the depth and breadth of the system is great for long-term collection variety isn't well suited to the 12-week time frame. And, a lot of people are not a fan of that 12-week time frame, but I digress. Yet we recognize that stat differentiation is critical for the way you play and grab your characters. New Overcharge system will seek to fill that role while reducing complexity and eliminating randomness. It will be able to modify the stats of both Era units and lone units in a controlled manner, helping you craft unique squads. We wanted to make this as frictionless as possible, so you will be able to shift your stat distribution around at will at no cost, so you can experiment, discover new strategies freely. When it comes to the resources needed to participate in the Overcharge system, a majority of the resources will be earned through your normal gameplay. We want everyone to have ample opportunities to make their Era units and lone units distinctly theirs. So it could be interesting. It sounds like you can just increase a stat almost like a slider, and you could be like, no, maybe let me increase my offense for now. I don't like that. Let's increase health. I kind of doubt they'll let you do speed. I think at this point they know speed is like really useful, and everyone just hyper focuses on speed. I wouldn't be surprised if they just didn't have speed in there. That could add a layer of complexity that maybe people will get lost in it and not know what to do, or maybe they'll have fun with it. I don't know. Working together with lone units and Overcharge, you will have plenty of room to theory craft. Era Arena will also provide you with the opportunity to battle others in your Era Shard. You'll earn banners based on your best Era Arena battle of the day, and those banners will determine your ranking on the leaderboard. Era Shards will still reset each era. This is what they say. The moment you have all been waiting for is finally here. With the introduction of the Era Arena, we'll be requiring Squad Arena, updating quests and stuff, and bringing in training mode in a future update. So this is something I personally have never really clamored for. I've never really cared about the thought of a sandbox mode, but it has been very vocally requested as long as I've been playing the game. Just the thought of like something with no stakes where you can test things out and try things. It's good. I think this is a good thing. I don't know. Maybe I'll love it. I've never really cared about having it. So the retiring Squad Arena, which makes sense. I mean, I'm sure those rewards will go somewhere else. Maybe everyone will get like level rank 1 rewards for that currency, because that's still like a store. You need to get that currency. This will be the rules. Only characters that you own can be used, which I like. Otherwise, it gets unwieldy really fast. But if you have a small roster, that's extremely limited use. Like for my GoTanks account, I have 3 GLs. I can only test against the 3 I have. I can't, if I'm trying to figure out how to beat like a Lord Vader team or a Hondo team, I can't do it unless I have Hondo. So this will only be good for like my main account or something. So this heavily favors like really end game players. Only 1 GL per side. You can use the same characters on offense and defense. That I do like that. That's like you could mirror a team, say like how it works on both sides of things, and just really understand interactions in detail. Current state of the units, it's both on offense and defense. Here's the negative, and that makes it borderline useless to me for endgame. Omicrons will not be present. Datacrons will be usable on offense, but not on defense. So you can't test out Omicron gameplay. It's basically the same as Squad Arena, but what's even worse is and this Squad Arena is preferable at this point of this, to not be able to face a Datacron is pretty useless, like for actually understanding and getting a competitive advantage or training. So for what I'd want is Omicrons to be active, and you can just toggle on what game mode you want it to be, like only TW Omicrons active, only JC, really only those two. I mean, TV, what's the point? I like to be able to pick TW or JC setting, and you have to let us use Datacrons on the other side. You just have to add that. Otherwise, I have no interest in that whatsoever. But we'll see. Hopefully they tune it and upgrade it over time. The conclusion of this post is just hinting at the future. We've seen concerns that our recent focus on eras means we're moving away from the rest of the game. That's not our intent. Eras are designed to build on top of Swiga, not replace the modes and systems you've invested in for years. GAC, Conquest, TW, TB, and Raids remain core to the game, and they will continue to evolve alongside eras. So I'm glad they acknowledge this. People have been really shouting that TW needs an update, and I agree. It desperately needs an update. I mean, the rewards are terrible. The top bracket is 380. The mode hasn't changed in like 5 years, and it was already like a relatively small change at that time. It's just atrocious in comparison to everything else. GAC also needs an update. The board hasn't changed in like 5 years, or 4.5 years or something. The last update was when they moved crystals to it. The skill squish is out of control. It's up and down. Kyber 1 shrinking, and then it's expanding. Crazy. It's all over the place. What's not helping them is calling it legacy modes. Like, don't call them legacy. Legacy means like old, outdated, on the way out. Like, just call them standard or core or something. Legacy is kind of a misnomer to me. Over the past several updates, we've heavily focused on building out the era system. Legacy. Don't call it legacy. I mean, I understand them focusing on era stuff. This is a massive thing, so they need to really focus on it since they released it. I just really think they should have touched up TW and Great Arena before all that. So we've seen early steps in this direction with training mode and Era Arena. I hate the thought of Era Arena. I don't know. I hope it's better than I'm thinking. I don't want PvP for Era stuff. Alongside that, we'll improve fleets, GCT. I mean, good. Like, please do that soon. I'm like, yeah, let's talk about fleets for a second. Ships are a huge part of Star Wars. We don't think the current fleet experience fully lives up to that. I agree. And basically just Fleet Arena and then a minor annoyance in Grand Arena. And then easy points in TB. The way I see it, though, is that's the way you progress as a new player. If they take crystals out of Fleet Arena and remove the predictable way to get that, that's negative. If they just start giving people crystals, like 400 crystals a day, everyone, then touch ships by all means. Like, I don't love Fleet Arena. I don't enjoy it. I don't enjoy watching my clock at like the time my payout is in the late afternoon for me every day, making sure I get that top. But I just need the resources. So I like the resources. I don't like Fleet Arena, but I do think it is necessary for a new player to have a way to get ahead and get some crystal income without money. That is core to fleets. They already removed it from Squad Arena, which was a way, it was harder, but it was a way to get extra crystals. I don't want to lose that. So that's just a preamble to what they're saying. Our goal is to make fleets feel more like a rewarding and strategic part of your progression, not something separate or left behind. We're exploring, targeting a few key improvements like stronger correct connection to the rest of the game, more strategic depth in decision making, both how you build your fleet and how battles play out. Clear choices in counterplay, so outcomes feel driven by planning execution, not just matchups. These are large foundational systems, and meaningful updates will take time, but this work is an important part of how we're evolving Galaxy of Heroes for the long term. Our goal is simple: to keep improving the modes you play every day while creating new ways to play, connect, and express yourself in the game. We'll share more details as our plans take shape. For now, we want you to know that your feedback is being heard and directly shaping what comes next. So I already gave most of my perspective in the preamble. I think this definitely hits home. I think ships is something that it does feel outdated, anachronistic. A lot of people just don't enjoy it. I'm someone that likes to hold out. I like hate to say I don't enjoy it. I don't really enjoy it. I've already said I like the crystals. I don't like fleets themselves. I really complain and whine when my Grand Arena matchup gets determined by ships. If I lose that way, I mean, if I win, I'm like, ooh, of course. But I do hate that it can come down to that because it's more about the characters. Fleet Arena, yes, I want my crystals every day, but I just, like, I get so, if someone snipes me, I get so annoyed at it. It just irritates me in the day, and it's just being tied to a clock. That part is negative. If they change it, I'm afraid they would do the same thing they did with Squad Arena crystals to Green Arena. It's great for endgame players with large accounts and have everything that can compete. They can get the same meta crystals. Like my main account has always gotten the same or more crystals as it did when Squad Arena was getting crystals. However, when I started a new account, if you are a small account and you're in Carbonite or Bronzium or Chromium or even Erodium, you're getting far less crystals compared to what you could have with Squad Arena crystals. Now, that was over 5 years ago at this point, or coming up on 5 years ago, so a lot of the player base has no idea what that's like. But you could get 900 crystals a day free to play by getting rank 1 in both arenas, and I was able to do that after 6 months of playing on my main account, completely free to play, 6 or 7 months. I just unlocked Jedi Knight revenue, so I'm going to get it. If they change it and remove those crystals in a way that only benefits end game players, that sucks. I think that's terrible. I hope they don't do that. I'll give them the benefit of the doubt and saying they're taking their time. I was worried they were going to rip them out of Fleet Arena back in 2021, shortly after they took them out of Squad Arena, but I don't know. I hope they integrate that, say, hey, everyone can get 400 crystals a day. I'd take that. But then ships would no longer be a focus on farming, because right now ships are huge. Oh, I need to spend some of the currency. I'm falling behind. Ships are huge because that is the goal. Like, that is always the emphasis in my new player guides, is get your fleets done early because you need that Fleet Arena income. It's like more important than characters in some way. So it would change the way it would be a complete foundational change to how players farm in the free play experience, and it could be positive. It could ruin it. So I hope they're really careful with how they approach that. But there is a reason that we haven't got a new big capital ship since Leviathan in 2023. It's just this never-ending cycle of one-upsmanship. The next biggest fleet beats all the others. That's how it has to work, and that's unsustainable. And I'm glad instead of just continuing that pattern, they have paused it for about 3 years now. So props for that. And we get random marquees like Punishing One and Marauder and Rogue One, and they switch things up. But I hope any change is positive. It definitely is something that probably is necessary, whether I like it or not. And that's going to about do it. This is a massive overall update. I'm interested to see how it goes. I think the facelift of the Cantina is actually pretty cool. And I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, let me know what your thoughts are on this update. Positive, negative, neutral, or what. I'd love to hear. people's takes on all of that. And thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. See you next time. Bye.